Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar, Getting Started with the Envision Glasses. My name is Ferkan. I am the product designer at Envision. And today I will be guiding you through the unboxing of the Envision glasses, what you will get when you buy the Envision glasses, the different gestures on the Envision glasses, and the features. You can ask your questions in the Q&A, but at the very end, we will also have a Q&A session where you can raise your hand and ask questions if you still have some. Let's start with the Envision glasses. So when you order them, there are two things that you get from us. One is the Envision glasses body and the charger, which is in this blue navy box. And next to that, the TI band. Let's open the TI band that is in the smaller box. The TI band, this is the frame that is attached to the Envision glasses body. And then the main box with the Envision glasses body. When you open the lid of the Envision glasses body, what you will find first is a booklet, and it has Braille on it to go to envisionglass.com. Because once you go there, we will explain in 5 steps how to pair your Envision glasses with the Envision app on your phone. Additionally, it's also on the booklet itself how to get started, pair your app, and start using the Envision glasses. Below this booklet is the Envision glasses body, which can be seen here. At the very back, there's the power button. The front, you will see a prism, which is like a glass screen where the screen is projected on. And on the front of the Envision glasses is the camera. What we're going to do is first attach the frame to the Envision glasses body. So on my left hand, I'm holding the TI frame, and on the right is my Envision glasses body. I hold it in a way that the glass is in front of me, and the back with the power button on the inside is towards me. I also make sure that the TI frame is folded out, because normally when you get it, it's folded in. So I fold it out and make sure that the rubbers are below. The way how I attach it is actually put the circle part on top of the hinge that you can feel with the Envision glasses body right here. I put it on the Envision glass body, I hold it and turn it clockwise until I hear a click. And actually that is the way the Envision glasses are attached to each other, and this is the way how you can wear them. So these are the Envision glasses. I will first go through the physical buttons. That's only one, which I showed before, is the power button on this side. And besides that, there is a USB port, a USB-C. And what I have not shown you yet is below the box is a smaller white box. And in this box, you can find a USB-C charger. This is also, the Envision glasses also support fast charging. So if you have a fast charger adapter, I definitely recommend using it because that way you can charge the Envision glasses in 30 minutes up to 70%. And the USB port is located at the back nearby the power button. One more thing I would like to add is the screen that I just talked about, which is the glass here. This one can be adjusted as well. For some people who have some rest vision, might still see a screen in the Envision glasses and use that. And sometimes that screen cannot be seen exactly the way you want. But by holding the whole Envision glasses, you can move this screen and make sure that it exactly fits in your peripheral. That is mainly the physical part, the attaching the frame, the whole attaching the frame to the Envision glasses. And once you have these glasses, what we recommend is the first time you get it, definitely put it to charge, make sure it's fully charged, and then get started pairing the app. You can do this by following the steps on the booklet, or you can go to envisionglass.com and start doing that. So the easiest way is to open the Envision app, go to the Glasses tab, which you can find next to Find and Identify, Find, and then click on Start Pairing, go through these steps, which also explain to attach the frame, turn on the Envision glasses, make a connection with the Wi-Fi, and after that, get started. To turn on the Envision glasses, this is the power button that I just showed you. You have to hold this for 6 seconds. Once I hold it for 6 seconds, I have to wait about 45 to 60 seconds and it turns on, and this will you will hear this as well. The very first time when you get the Envision glasses, it will tell you also to go to envisionglass.com. Once you hear that, you can start pairing the glasses with your Envision app. The Envision app is available both for iOS and Android. And once you start pairing the app, you can go through the process of pairing it. And finally, once you also connect it to the Wi-Fi at home, you can start the tutorial on the Envision glasses. I'm not gonna show you the tutorial because it is quite long, and definitely if you have it or if you would ever receive it, then you can go through the tutorial. But the tutorial mainly explains what the gestures are on the Envision glasses. So I will also explain the gestures on the Envision glasses now. Before I do that, I firstly have to show where the touchpad is located. As you can see, it is located on the side of the Envision glass body. On the right side, right where it folds, it starts at that hinge up to the part where it's quite small, which comes on top of your ears. So when I put on the Envision glasses, let me turn it down for a second. On the side, I will have my touchpad and the way how I can interact with the Envision glasses. And the gestures, they consist of taps and also swipes. Firstly, there's a single tap. This mainly is, this can be compared to a lot of the interactions done with TalkBack or VoiceOver on iPhone and Android. So if I tap once, it's a play and pause function. Tapping twice means entering a screen. Doing a tap and hold explains to me what a certain screen or feature does. Besides that, I have a swipe forward, which means going to a next screen. A swipe back means going to the previous screen. Swipe down means going back, going to the previous screen. And the screens, what I'm talking about is that the menu structure, what we have, they're categorized in different categories. So you have the read, find, identify, call, the device settings, feature preferences, and the help category. So once I'm in the read, which I will also talk more about later, when I double tap on read, it will go to the second menu, to the second level, the second screen, which consists of the features that are inside read. So whether that is instant text, scan text, or batch scan. And the same counts also for identify, find, and the other categories. So to enter that, I double tap, I enter the screen. If I want to go back, I do a slide down and I get back. One more gesture is the two-finger swipe down. This allows me to go back to the home screen. And I will also talk more about the home screen later on. And additionally, later on, I will also, with the call feature that I just mentioned with the categories, we will also talk about the Envision Ally app and the Glasses tab on our Envision app phone. Let's first go to the first screen. So when I have completed the tutorial, I have done the introductory tutorial on the Envision glasses. When I start with my Envision glasses, first where I get is the home screen. This home screen acts like any other home screen. It tells me what the time is by doing a double tap.
It is 17:12. Today is Friday, the 20th of November. Battery level is at 97%. You are connected to yes. Self-guess.
So what it does, it tells me the time, the date, if I'm connected to a Wi-Fi. And it also tells me how I can set my device to sleep and also the time. So this is the home screen. Additionally to the home screen, what I can do as well is once I'm on the home screen is do a two-finger tap.
Hey Firkin, your Envision glasses are currently on version
And what this does is it tells me whether on what version I am and if it's the updated version, yes or not. One more thing I would like to mention is to put the glasses to sleep is by doing a 2-finger swipe down. This will put it to sleep. Secondly, if I get the glass off, I fold it in, then it goes to sleep. And one more thing is the power button. If I tap once, it also goes to sleep, and it will also provide you that sound cue that your glasses are going to sleep or whether they're awake or not. To put my glasses awake again, I can double tap the sides and it will open and I'm in my home screen again. And actually I always start from the home screen, and from this point on, I can go to the read, identify, find, call, or any function that I need or want to use it for.
Your Envision glasses are free. Identified.
2 seconds, I need to get my glasses. Let's now do first start with the, let's go to the read category, and then I will explain you the features on the read category. So once again, I'm in the read category and I do a tap and hold. So this explains me what the read category is and what I can do there. So I double tap on read. This allows me to go to the instant text. And if I swipe forward, it goes to scan text and a batch scan. I do get a comment from someone to turn on the volume. So I will quickly turn on the volume on my Envision glass so you can also hear this. And I will also explain you later on how you can increase the volume on the Envision glasses. So back to the read category, I double tap on read, and then I have instant text. And what instant text does is it turns on the camera and everything that is in front of you will be read out. So when I do a double tap, and let's grab, for instance, this booklet that is in the Envision glasses and do a double tap on the Envision on the instant text.
Get started. 1. Download and install the Envision app. 2. Log in on the Envision app. 3. Navigate to the glasses tab. 4. Instant text.
So what I did now is I double tapped on instant text. I got a piece of text. I put it in front of the Envision glasses, in front of the camera, and it will start speaking out what is in front of me. To get out of the instant text feature again, I swipe down and I'm back in the instant text. So if I don't know where I am in the menu, I do a 1 tap and it tells me I am at instant text. So if I want to go to scan text, that means I have to swipe forward once and that I'm at the scan text, and same, I do it again. And then I'm at the batch scan. I just showed you the instant text. The difference with scan text is that scan text actually makes a picture of what is in front of you, and it has a more, you have more control over the text that you're doing. Mostly what I recommend is instant text for when you're outside, you quickly want to see stuff, you're at the station, you want to know what is around you. For that, instant text is perfect. When there's a certain document you want to read or a text that is a bit larger, then I definitely recommend using scan text. And with scan text, let's do a scan text now with a book that I have here. So once again, I go to scan text and then I double tap. What you're hearing now is the so-called text detection. What the text detection does is it detects how many words are in front of you. This helps in guiding whether there is text in front of you, if you're holding the paper correctly or not. As you hear now, actually, there are no beeps. The frequency is none. If I hold the document in front of me again, you hear the beeps are increasing, which means it detects words. And the moment I turn up a bit the other way, which means it detects less text, it stops beeping. And the frequency, so the amount of beeps you hear, if it's higher, if it's faster, if it's faster, it means it detects more text, and it's more likely that it detects the text. First, it will speak out the text. So I have a piece of text here in front of me with the feature list of the Envision glasses. So let's take a scan by doing a double tap.
Reader, Envision glasses feature list. Instant text. This function is intended to read short pieces of text like room numbers, street signs.
So what I just did is I double tapped on scan text. It detected the words. With my left hand, I hold the document, and by holding it a little bit to the right, about 50 to 60 centimeters from myself away, I double tapped it again. It took a picture and it read out the text to me. It immediately starts with the reader, and then it speaks out the text that is in front of me. But to stop this text, I tapped once, and now it's in a pause. So let's say I want to play this text again. I tap once again.
This function is intended to read short pieces of text like room numbers, street signs.
Besides that, because now I'm in the reader, I can also, if I have scanned a text, I will only want to read the last part of the text, I can swipe forwards or swipe backwards and tap again to pause actually the text. So this is all possible in scan text, so it gives me much more control over the text, which is great. Also, when there's more text or I want to reread something, this is definitely much better than the instant text for in this case when reading a document. Besides that, let's for the scan text. If I want to go out of the reader, what I do is I swipe down.
Swipe down again to exit.
And then it will tell me again to swipe down, just to be sure.
This enables you to read dense pieces of text like
So swipe down twice.
Swipe scan text.
And now it's back in the scan text menu. So we're in the scan text, and if I swipe back, we're at instant text, and then
Scan batch scan.
swipe forward twice, which means I'm the batch scan. The batch scan is similar to the scan text feature, but what it does is I can scan multiple documents at once, which means I don't have to double tap, read the text, get another paper, scan it again. So in this case, because I have 3 papers here, so let's say I would like to scan 2 pieces of text. We can do it in the same way. So I am now at batch scan. I double tap first.
Batch scan.
Again, I hold it in front of me. I hear the beeps. I hold it with my left hand. I double tap.
Text not recognized. Double tap to try again.
As you see, the text is not recognized. And in this case, I probably held it wrong. So I'm going to try this again.
Batch scan. First page scan. Double tap again to scan the second page. 2-finger tap to finish scanning and open the text in the reader.
So again, it tells me here what the action, what I did. I scanned the text. It tells me the first page is scanned. And to scan the second page, I have to double tap again. So I'm getting a second page, holding it in front of me, holding with my left hand, and then point the camera to it.
First page scan. Double tap again to first page. Page 2 scan. Double tap again to scan another page. 2-finger tap to finish scanning and open the text in the reader.
So instead of scanning another page, what I'm going to do is do a 2-finger tap.
Reader. Page 1. Envision glasses feature list. Instant text. This function is intended to read short.
And as you just saw, I scanned 2 pages. This allowed me to scan the text. It opens in the reader again. And now what I can do is I can scan through the text again.
This page with the explore. Page 2 with the explore function.
And as you just heard, I swipe forward, went to the first page, and then by swiping forward, it will also tell me now you're at the second page, And the third page, how many pages you want to scan, that's up to you, of course. So I can scan multiple pages, and that will speak it out to me. And so that's the batch scan and the scan text.
Swipe down again to exit.
One thing extra is when I'm in the
The explore function, the glasses will consistently page 2.
let me pause this because I'm still in the reader of batch scan. So I scanned 2 documents, which is nice. I can read through the text. Awesome. And there's one more great feature. What I like is once I have the text, there might be things that I want to do with it. And luckily, we have the export text function. What this does is it exports the text and allows me to use the text that I just scanned here to import it on my Envision app. So what I do is 2-finger tap in the reader, gives the success sound.
Exported successfully. With the explore function, the glasses will consistently speak out. The objects and people in the picture shown you. This is useful to familiarize your.
So what I did now is that I was in the reader. I did a 2-finger tap. It gives me a success sound and tells me the text is exported. Now I have my phone here. I will open the Envision app. In the text category on the main page, I go to more actions and then Envision library. And then with the Envision library, there on the right top, there's an option to import files. But there's one more function there which says import from glasses. And when I import from glasses, it will get the document that I just exported from the Envision glasses, and I can use this text in the Envision app. That is the reader and the batch scan, the scan text, and the instant text. But one more thing I want to talk about.
Batch scan.
So when I go to read and the instant text, what we just did with the 2-finger tap with the export, when I do a 2-finger tap on instant text,
Offline mode is disabled.
I can enable or disable the offline mode.
To enable offline mode.
And again,
Swipe down to confirm your selection.
And again, it will tell me indeed what is possible to do. So if I double tap, I will enable it. If I double tap it, I will disable it. And the offline mode, enabling the offline mode means that I don't require any internet connection, and I can use the instant text offline as well. So this is great for when you go outside and you don't want to connect to your hotspot or anything. Then you can turn on the offline mode for instant text and use the instant text. If I swipe forward once,
Offline mode instant text. Scan
I have the
text.
same for scan text. If I do a 2-finger tap on scan text,
Text detection is enabled.
it is the enabled text
Double tap
detection.
to disable. Swipe automatic
If I
language
swipe
detection
forward,
is
I have the
disabled.
automatic language detection.
Double tap to enable. Swipe down to go back.
And
Swipe forward or back to change other preferences.
it will tell me again what happens if I do a double tap and if I swipe down that I enabled it. Just so the 2-finger tap on a certain feature, it opens the preferences. And for that certain feature, I can change the preferences. So what I just talked about is the text detection on the scan text. It might be after a while that you don't really need it, or you think you might have a little rest vision, so you know how to place the document in front of you, which means you can turn off the text detection.
Text detection is enabled.
I double tap.
Text detection is disabled.
Now it's disabled. I swipe down,
Scan text.
and now the text detection is disabled, and I can still scan a text. The behavior when the text detection is disabled is a little bit different compared to when the text detection is enabled, and I will show you what it is. So in this case, again, I hold the document in front of me. I double tap on scan text.
Scan text.
And in this case, it didn't detect the words, but immediately
Envision glasses feature list.
opens the reader.
Instant text. Swiped. Scan
And
text.
so what it does in this case is that I double tap on scan text. It does a countdown. So I have some time to properly place the document in front of the camera, and it immediately takes a picture and reads it out in the reader. And this is the same for the batch scan possibility. And with the preferences, by doing a 2-finger tap, I can change the language detection. The language detection is whether it speaks it out automatically in that certain language that you want, or whether you want to, whether you're sure if it's a English document that you always want to have it read in English, which will do it that way. That is mainly the read part and the whole reading experience with the Envision glasses. I will also add to this that if you have any questions later on, like raise your hand and don't be shy, ask the questions. Definitely help. Great to be. Don't hesitate to any questions, and we will be helping you guys out. With the read category, I switch forward to one more, which is the identify. I double tap and identify again. I can do a describe scene, swipe forward, or detect colors. Describe scene. Well, let me describe this, what is in front of here.
An open laptop computer sitting on top of a table.
Well, that is correct. So what I just did is I described the scene by going to describe scene, double tap. It gives me the same countdown what I have when I do a scan text without text detection. And immediately it, in between, you will hear the processing sound, and then it will give me the description.
An open laptop computer sitting on top of a table.
So if you want to hear the description again, just do a tap once and it will read it out. I want to go back, swipe down.
Describe scene.
So it's all the same behavior. Once you get the hang of it, it's all about tapping once, twice, swiping forward, down. And now I'm in describe scene. I swipe forward, detect colors.
Maroon, light gray, dark gray, olive, light yellow.
So in this case, what it does is it detects the colors. So I double tap on detect colors and everything around me will be spoken out the colors. What is also possible if I double tap on detect colors,
Maroon,
I can tap once,
black,
which means it will pause. And then if I grab another item, I can tap again
dark green, black.
and it will read it out again. So this is the whole detecting colors feature on the imaging glasses. I swipe down
Detect colors.
and swipe down again, and I'm back at identify. I swipe forward again to find. In this category, I double tap again.
Find
I
object.
can find an object,
Find people.
find people,
Explore.
or explore around. I will first start with the first feature, find object.
Backpack.
It will start looking for a backpack. If I would love to like to actually look for another object, what I do is swipe forward.
Bicycle. Chair. Cup. Bottle. Cup.
As you see, I just did a cup and there's a cup in front of me and it will give a beep. So I know that there's a cup in front of me, but if I look to the left, there's no cup, which means there's no cup there. And on the right here, there's a cup. I swipe down again.
Find object.
That was the find object feature. Swipe forward and find people. There's someone in front of me, so it detects the person. I have not added them as a friend yet.
Find people.
That is another thing that I will talk about later in the glasses tab on the Envision app. By adding someone, besides saying that there's a person in front of you, it will also speak out their name, which is pretty awesome.
Explore.
And the explore around actually does everything. It speaks out all the objects that are around you. So it recognizes there's a laptop in front of me, there's a chair next to me, and the explorer around is great for just knowing what is around you, if there's any objects around you. And it even speaks out that that the co-founder is here in front of me.
Explore. Explore. Find.
So now we go to the call feature. We had the read, we had the identify, and the find. And the call feature is the Ally app. The Ally app, didn't speak too much about that yet. But what this does is I'm able to call an ally, and this person can see or look with me, my point of view of what they see with this with the camera on the Envision glasses. And this is great because I will have my hands free. I can do things. This might be the case when you're stuck in traffic, you don't know where to go. It might be when you're reading a really important document and you just want to be sure where that document is saying the correct thing. You just go to call, you double tap,
Call an ally.
and there's call an ally. You double tap on call an ally, and the person, the Ally app, which means that the Ally app can be downloaded on the Android and on the Play Store and the App Store. The other person gets a notification. Once they click on the notification, they will see what you're seeing, and I will hear their voice. And this is definitely a great feature. And you can add an ally also in the glass tab, which I will also go through later on. These are the features of the Envision glasses. So the main features, the four: the read, identify, find, and calling an ally. Besides that, there are a lot of options
Device settings.
for the device settings, feature preferences, and the help. So these are the three other categories. Let's start with
Feature
device
preference
settings. Double tap again.
Audio.
So what I just did at the beginning of the webinar, if you're already there, I just increased the volume of the imaging glasses. I do a double tap,
Change volume.
double tap again.
80%, 73, 66.
By swiping back,
60%.
so swiping to the left, I can decrease the volume, and by swiping forwards again, I can increase the volume. I swipe down and it confirms the volume. Besides that, I can also change the speed.
30%, 35, 40%, 45, 50, 55, 60%, 65%.
So this is the speed of the voiceover. So I know a lot of people are really used to having a really high speed for the voiceover. And that way you can also customize exactly the speed that you want on the imaging glasses.
35%. Change speed.
I'll put it on 35% for now, and then swipe down again. I'm back in the audio feature in the settings. Swipe forwards, Wi-Fi. I have the possibility to connect to a Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And it also tells me if I'm connected to a Wi-Fi.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. So this is also great. I can pair my imaging glasses with my AirPods or any other Bluetooth device, which is awesome. Language. I can change language. So whatever language you want, you can double tap on language, choose the language, double tap, and then you will be redirected to the home screen, and you can start using the imaging glass in your preferred language. The display. So what I also talked about in the very beginning is the display that is in front of you. There's a small display at the front glass plate. If you have some res vision, it might be helpful. If this is definitely not the case, you can turn it on at display, or if it might be even bother you, the small light that is in front, you can double tap on display, double tap again, and it will turn off the display.
Software.
Besides that, there's the software settings and the power settings. For the Wi-Fi settings, I have to add that you can either connect to a Wi-Fi by using a QR code. So by going to letsenvision.com/QR, or you can use the Envision glasses, Envision app, and the glasses tab.
Device settings.
Now the feature preferences, what I talked about before in the read category, there's the preferences for whether you want instant text online, offline, whether you want to use automatic language detection for scan text, or if you'd rather like to use the text detection for scan text and bed scan. In this category, you can easily change it as well here. So you can double tap.
Offline mode is enabled. Offline mode is disabled.
Now it's disabled, which means it's online mode. I can swipe down again, and these are the feature preferences. If I swipe one more towards the front is help.
Help. Playground.
Let me go on. In the help category, actually the most interesting one for me definitely is the playground, and the playground actually helps again to memorize the gestures. So what I do here, I'm on the playground, I double tap on playground.
Playground starts in 3 seconds. To exit the playground, do a 2-finger swipe down.
So because of I just hit the sound, which means I'm now in the playground. And what the playground does is it allows me to practice the gestures again. So if I forgot what like a swipe forward means,
Swipe forward. This gesture allows you to move to the next screen.
or a swipe back,
Swipe back. This gesture allows you to move to the previous screen.
or a swipe down,
Swipe down. This gesture allows you to exit.
and any other gesture like a double tap.
Double tap. This gesture allows you to activate or enter a screen.
And this way I can practice the gestures again and see what is correct, what gestures I was doing.
Playground, do a 2-finger swipe down.
It will also tell me again after about 20 seconds how to exit the playground. So I do a 2-finger swipe down, and I'm back at the home screen. Let's go back to the help section.
Playground, tutorials.
I can also read more about tutorials. And about the Envision glasses, where there's the possibility of unpairing the glasses, but that is not relevant for now. Additionally, I will also talk about the Envision app, and then mainly the glasses tab, as I talked about a bit before. So in this case, the Envision glasses are connected to the Envision app, and in the app, I'm able to see whether my glasses are connected, what the battery level is, and if it's connected to a Wi-Fi internet. The feature preferences I can also change from the glasses tab. So I can add an ally, I can teach a face, or I can do the device settings such as connecting to a Bluetooth or a Wi-Fi setting. And in the glasses tab, the main important one is the Envision Ally. So in this case, by using the glass tab on the Envision app, I can add an ally. I can send them a link, and they will open the link in the free Envision Ally app, which allows me to call them and they can receive a call. And additionally, I'm also able to teach a face. So in the Envision Ally, I can quickly show it on this screen. You can see that I have different allies here, and I can add an ally by sending a link, or I can teach a face. I click on the teach a face, and it immediately shows my face. I take about 5 pictures with teacher face, and this I enter a name, and this allows me to use the teacher face for finding people, or when I explore around, it will tell me this person is in front of me or this person is in front of me. With these going back to the device settings, I quickly also want to talk about the software. So by going to software, you can double tap on software. It will check if there is a software available and it will do the update. So every time we're improving functions, bringing new features and more exciting stuff. So definitely then advise to go to the software, update the software and get the better version of the Envision glasses every month. And that's about the Wi-Fi, the whole Envision glasses, the whole screen. So the categories, doing a double tap, all the gestures. And quickly also, before I forget, I would also want to mention the first time you buy a pair of Envision glasses, you connect it with the app, which means automatically the first time you connect it with that app also gets a free lifetime subscription on the Envision app. So you can also use the app, you can pair it with the glasses. The tutorials that I just showed in the help section, you can access the tutorials here on the Envision glasses. So you can hear what the instant text is about, what the scan text does, how to find the object or the best use cases. But additionally, we also have tutorials on our website, that's envision.com, and then go to the glass tab. We have a whole help center there with information regarding these features. Additionally, also videos on YouTube explaining some of the features and explaining some of the features, the gestures, the menu on the Envision glasses. Let me check. I think I have covered everything what I have to talk about when it comes to the Envision glasses. I have to go to more menu.
Display, software, power, device settings, call, find, identify, read, home.
This is about it, I think, about the Envision glasses, at least from my side, explaining the Envision glasses. So the whole unboxing up to pairing the Envision glass with the app, setting it up, connecting to a Wi-Fi, making sure that you understand the features, what to use the instant text for, when to use the scan text. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them and let's interact with each other. Yeah, I really want to hear your thoughts, if it's clear or not, whether there are things you would like to know or you're excited about or not. So yes.
Take some of the questions that are from Eva in the Q&A panel.
Yes, I see Q&As. Of course, can you add the Envision glasses cues, move test more to the left, right, up, down, etc. And other cues like text is upside down. Please turn it over. Quest that is low, too low. It's cut off its variable. Totally share. No, wait. Can you jump in on this one?
Yes. So we have a question from Eva who's asking if it's possible to also add some sort of a guidance when somebody is trying to scan a document, whether the document has to be shifted to the left or the like to the right. That is a good suggestion, and that is something that we have been experimenting a lot internally also with. As of now, it's a bit, I would say, tricky to actually implement such a functionality on the glasses where it's actually able to detect the document with such high accuracies. We had some experiments where the accuracy of this was not as high, and that's the reason we have not included it as of yet. But it is, very much a possibility to be able to introduce a feature like this in the app in the future. And the other, like a question that Eva has also asked is with respect to being able to point a finger to detect objects or a color or a part of text. And with respect to that, as of now, that is not an area that Envision has explored. Of course, when there is a camera and there is AI capabilities, such things are a possibility. But this is not something that Envision is exploring in the short term. But it is very much a possibility that we would include something like this in the long term. We have a question from a Maruti who is asking, is it able to read Indian languages? Yes, Maruti, it is also able to read Indian languages. The Envision, the OCR or the recognition of the text, a feature in Envision is actually able to read over 60 different languages. So it includes a lot of the Indian regional languages as well, exactly like how the Envision app is doing at the moment. We have a question from Ivar now, and Ivar is asking, can you navigate through a text? Yes, Ivar, it is possible to do like a navigate across a text through the scan text or a back scan option. So when you take a picture of a document, you're actually able to skip from a paragraph to a paragraph of the document and only read the parts that you want to. And we also made a demonstration of, you can also export all of this text onto like your phone, and then from your phone you can export it as an email or as a txt file or whichever is the format that like you want it to, which actually allows you to explore it in I would say in like a lot more of different like ways as well.
I also quickly see a few questions asked in the chat, so I can also answer those actually. From Rohan at the very beginning, he asked me whether we can increase the volume of the glasses, and as I just showcased, it is possible to increase the volume. The second one is from Robert Tinney. Do the glasses tell you when you're connected to the Wi-Fi? Yes, they do. So when I am at the home screen, I double tap.
It is 17:44. Today is Friday, the 20th of November. Battery level is at 85%. You are connected to yes. Yes.
So at the very end, it tells me I am connected to the Wi-Fi.
Two-finger swipe down gesture to set your device to sleep mode.
Or I can go to the device settings to Wi-Fi, and it will tell me there as well whether I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. And a third way is the Envision app. So if I'm connected with the Envision app, it will tell me in the glasses tab whether I'm connected to Wi-Fi. And another question from Rohan is that whether you can use the glasses while they're plugged in for charging. That is definitely possible. So if you have a small power bank, you can attach it with USB-C, and while it's charging, you can still use it. Though what I already mentioned in the very beginning, if you have a fast charger, you can easily charge it really quickly. So you won't really need to have it on while it's being charged. And depending on what features you use, it has a pretty big, it is quite a long range of using the Envision glasses. And then I have another question in the chat from Margaret, and she's asking whether it can read a page in a book. It definitely can. So what I just showed with the batch scan is actually scanning 2 documents, but there's also a possibility to scan 1 page of a book and then another page. So that's definitely possible. I haven't showcased it today, but it is possible, and I've done it a lot of times.
So I think we should invite a panelist. So I have a Jim who has raised his hand. Jim, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, hi. Thanks. Thanks for calling me in. I have a couple of one a quick question and a statement. We'll go with the statement first, and that is that no matter what I do, I can't get the Call Ally working right. I've used Wi-Fi. I've hotspotted to my phone, turned the Wi-Fi off, and used data. And it's not that it doesn't work. The person on the other end can hear me fine, and I can hear them very clear. But I am getting a crystal clear echo back to my headset, and it's just unusable the way it is. And I have a question after that.
All right, Jim. Yeah, I think that is a really good like feedback. We're actually going to do like a follow up with you personally to actually understand what's happening in your case, because yes, to actually hearing an echo is not the way it is intended to be, and that was not happening in the cases that we have done like testing with. But yeah, we'll actually do like a follow up with you personally to actually see what's the issue, and we will be able to offer you a resolution for it quickly.
Okay, and maybe if anybody else is having the same problem, they could send a chat just to say that. But the question I have is, and perhaps this would be directed to you, is that why wouldn't it have been wiser to have a pair of glasses with a camera in the glass, as Ira used to use or whatever, and use the existing software and your own system of audio? Wouldn't that made the whole thing a lot cheaper, and it would allow much more blind and visually impaired people to afford these things? Because there really seems to me, and I've been looking on the internet to find a head-borne camera, but hopefully a pair of glasses with a camera in the glass, because in that case it would connect to your app anyway, and any other app, including being able to contact Ira for personal support. So I don't quite understand the business model there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can explain a bit into what has been sort of our R&D that has led to the development of this. So, like you mentioned, just to have a camera or like a smart glass that is only operating as as like a camera input, and all the processing and everything is just happening on the app on your phone. That would be the ideal scenario, like you mentioned. But it is much more complicated as a problem to solve that. We have actually spent like a lot of hours and resources in R&D of having a solution as of such capabilities that could be possible to work with Envision. But unfortunately, they have not all been able to like hold up to like what like we require for it to function like normally. And to build our own I would say hardware, that is a resource intensive like task. And yeah, like at this point we don't have the resources to really invest in developing our own like hardware. And as you would have noticed, it has happened with other companies who did a venture into starting with their own hardware. It is not a sustainable, I would say, like process in the long term. So the strategy that Envision has actually adopted is to focus on building a device agnostic like software that can actually be implemented on different pieces of hardware, which are good and which have the capability of scaling up, and which has the capability of being sustainable. And this is a software that as of now it's available on like a smartphone as an app, and then we have expanded this to be available on the Google like glasses, which is what is the Envision, I would say, like glasses that is underneath it. So we have put our software on the Google Glass, but in the long term, our strategy is to put our software on other smart glasses as well, as and when they show up in the market. And in the long term, if stuff like smart glasses become a ubiquitous thing, like everything else, the cost of these smart glasses will also start to go down. And at that point, it will make a lot more of like sense to actually be able to offer this only as a software solution. But because of the fact that something like the Google Glass or something like other smart glasses aren't as widely available, or they aren't as ubiquitous as of now, is the reason that we have to sell the hardware and the software ourselves. But in the long term, if such hardware become widely available, we'll only focus on improving our software and just selling the software on these people instead of also having to sell the hardware with it. So that's the strategy that Envision is at the moment adopting.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Jim. Thank you so much for your time.
I have two more questions in the chat that I can quickly answer. Robert again asks whether the Wi-Fi helps Explore mode. The Explore mode is it's an offline feature, and the Wi-Fi does not help to improve the Explore mode. And for the explore mode, as I showcased just, it immediately showed me the laptop, the chair, and everything. So it is really dependent on lighting firstly, and it's really about finding the right angle and seeing if it works for you. Additionally, I see a question from Pernil, if I hopefully pronounce your name right, and you're asking whether the imaging glass can read curved surfaces such as bottles or a pill glass. From our testing, it really depends on the amount of curve, but most bottles I tried reading, those had no issues. It is dependent on the curve, so if it has a really huge curve, if the text is way too curved, then it might not read it. But from the testing that we did so far, the results have been pretty great. And also one thing I have missed during the first part of me explaining the instant text, the scan text, is the handwritten text. So also the handwritten text can be detected and is really accurate when you're trying to read a recipe that's handwritten or something. There's one more thing that I want to add.
There is also a question from Eva, who says that she on eBay there is like a headphone that she sees which has a USB-C connection that works with the Google Glass, and she's just asking if that's something that she can use. Yeah, Eva, so any, I would say, like a USB-C supported like headphones, it should work fine with Envision. If it is something especially for the Google Glass, just ensure that it is for the Google Glass Enterprise Edition 2, because that's the version that we're using. There was an earlier edition of this glass as well, but so just ensure that it's for the Google Glass Enterprise Edition 2. So any, I would say, accessory that is meant for the Google Glass Enterprise Edition 2 should also function well with Envision glasses. And also if it's a USB-C based like headphone, it should also be able to function well. Now let's call on Stephen onto the panel, who has raised his hand. Stephen, can you unmute yourself and ask us your question?
Similar to the previous chap that was on there, I'm also experiencing an awful lot of problems with the alloys section.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Like your audio is very it's a low. Can you speak up, or can you increase the settings of your mic?
Okay.
Slightly better.
Similar to the previous chap that was on there, I'm also experiencing problems with the Ally app. I've had my Bluetooth connected to the glasses fine, and if I go to try and call an Ally, it disconnects from my Bluetooth, and the the feedback is absolutely terrible because I can hear myself in a delay as well, echoing back. I've also been having terrible difficulties trying to add allies. I've sent numbers of emails to yourselves, and the problem is still there. I had a call with the NCBI, which is the National Council of the Blind in Ireland, to try and see what the glasses were like, but the person that I was dealing with was using an iPhone, and when they tried to connect after me sending the request, it was telling them that the server could not be found. Now, I tried to send it multiple ways through the glasses, through the app on the phone, and still doesn't work. Also on the allies part of it, on the Envision AI app on the phone, it doesn't show you any allies that you've already set up. To be honest with you, I'm a bit disappointed with some of the functionality that was initially sort of shown on the videos before the actual glasses were launched. With the alloys section of it, initially you were given the impression that you could send your location to whoever you were talking to so they would know where you were. This is not the case. And then the email that I received from yourselves today was telling me that there's no GPS chip in the glasses. So I'm assuming that you would have to use Google Maps to send your location in case of a situation where you were lost. I had ordered the Smith Optics frames. I wasn't told that there was a delay in them. I'm still awaiting them. I don't know what the situation is. I think it's pretty poor, especially for the overall price. I would have thought that I would have been notified of this additional delay. And as I said, as of yet, I haven't received the frames that I paid for.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Stephen. Thanks a lot for all the feedback, and I will sort of address them one by one. With respect to the echo issue that's happening on the Ally, I would say functionality. That's something that now we're going to take a look into very seriously, because it is, if it is an issue that's happening to a lot of people, we'll actually have to look into it, and we'll have to get back to you. And I would like you to put like a faith on the fact that we'll do it with utmost urgency. So we will definitely, like be on top of that. With respect to the other functionalities that you're like you mentioned, yeah, we do understand. For example, with the location, sort of thing on the glasses, that is something that is a work in progress. When we did the pre-order, sort of like the campaign, we were sort of making a plan of all the features that will actually be included in the glasses as a development over the next few months. But because of the situations that has been there across the world, we have not been able to as fast in with the development as we otherwise like we could have been. And having a location stuff integrated within the Ally app, that has that is something that has taken a bit of like a delay at the moment of being implemented. But rest assured, it is something that will be implemented and put out as a part of the Ally functionality in the short term. I cannot give you an exact like timeline, but that is something that is currently being I would say operated on. And as you correctly pointed out, there isn't a GPS on the glasses. So the way that would work is taking the GPS location of like a phone actually. So if you're outside and if you have like a phone in your pockets, it's actually going to pick up the GPS location of your phone, and that's the one it's going to inform the other person as your actual your location. So that is how it operates. And finally, with respect to the Smith Optics like frame, yes, that's totally on us. Because, and it has actually only happened to two I would say customers who actually did a pre-order of the glasses, that they didn't get a Smith Optics like frame, and that's because there was a shortage of stock from our suppliers. We were dependent on our suppliers that they will be able to ship it to us in time, but the shipment that they sent is got stuck in the customs when it was coming in, and we still have not been able to receive it. So that is something that we are trying to resolve as soon as possible. But yeah, it did happen that two customers were not able to receive the Smith Optics frame, and I'm very like sorry for that. And Envision is going to do its best I was like to make up for it. And yeah, we'll ensure that within like next week you do have your Smith Optics pair with you.
okay, and what about the issue with disconnecting from the Bluetooth earpiece?
Yeah, that is also a thing that's there within the sort of the Ally app. So as soon as you do make a call, it is going to take you to it is actually going to like take you off a Bluetooth speaker. That's also an issue that we have noticed, and we will be fixing that as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Stephen, thank you so much for your comments. All right, we have more of the questions coming in. Margaret is asking, is there a help like number? Yes, Margaret, there is I would say like a help number that's available through talking to us through like WhatsApp as well. That's the, you can just make a call to us through like WhatsApp. It's all, that number is there on the website. I'm also going to add it here to chat, and I will also ensure that I will personally email you that number. But it is like a number that could be like found on the help tab of the website of Envision. Will all the features be offline? If it's possible, especially text, instant text is quite inaccurate. It'll be much more child friendly. Not everywhere you can find a Wi-Fi or a good like phone signal, especially abroad. So Eva is asking the possibility of having all the features offline. That is the goal. The idea is like we do want to ensure that all the features of the like the glasses eventually become offline. As of now, they're a combination of offline and online features. But over a period of time, as we optimize our algorithms, to be able to all operate on a process, like a processor that is on these glasses, there is very much a likelihood of bringing them all offline. And within the next, I would say, couple of years, like a lot of these functionality that is currently happening online will actually eventually be happening offline. Another thing that Eva is mentioning is the fact that the ability to take like photos and videos with the glasses. That is currently a possibility, but we haven't implemented it because we still are sort of putting in place the privacy regulations with concerns like to it. But that is also a feature that we do want to include in future. So as of now, it is not possible to make a recording or a pictures with these glasses because we don't want these images to be stored anywhere for a privacy reason. So as of now, none of the images that are taken with Envision glasses are being stored anywhere. They are just images that like are once the information is taken out and spoken out to you, the image itself like like is discarded immediately. But we are trying to include a way to put like a way to include you to take a photo or a video on the glasses as well. Will there be a voice commands? Yes, that is also a work in progress where you'll actually be able to give, I would say, voice commands. So this is something that you can actually see being implemented sometime in the beginning of next year. You will actually see us implementing the early voice commands as well.
Yes.
I'll bring like Don on the call, who has raised his hand. Don, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
I don't know why I am, because I have no question.
Oh, all
Sorry.
right. Then it's all right, Dan. Thank you so
I'm
much.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Thank you. All right. I'm going to bring in Stuart. Stuart has also raised his hand. Stuart, can you unmute yourself and ask us your question?
Hello, am I coming through?
Yes, Stuart, we hear you.
Yes. Hi guys. I just really have not really questions, but just as a user, I just want to give my own quick review, if that's okay. Just very, very quickly, I've been using the glasses for just almost 3 weeks now. Can I just firstly say thank you so much to everybody at Envision for making these things available, because you've actually made my dream come true. I've been dreaming about something like this for years. With regards to the glasses, they're wearable, and I think what sets these glasses apart is the OCR, the text reading features. I've put some tweets out about that in the past. I think you have saw them. And I think what really sets them apart is the Envision Ally. I haven't, interestingly enough, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. And I think when the AI in the glasses sometimes doesn't work, because AI is a work in progress itself, the fact that you can have the video calling feature at your beck and call, and you're calling, I've got my sister, my dad, my mum as contacts. The fact that you can call people that you trust and you know that you're going to get help straight away from them through the app is absolutely fantastic. I think we just have to remember that you know, I'm very lucky. I feel as though, yes, some of the features are a work in progress, but just to be part of this, you know, new venture at this very early stage is fantastic. As I say, thank you again. I absolutely love them. I have the Smith Optics frame. They are worth every single penny I paid in the pre-order price. And here's to the future, because I have never been so excited about being part of, you know, a product that's here now and that's going to just develop in the future, coming on leaps and bounds. So you'll be tired of me saying it, but again, just thank you so much for this. It's brilliant.
All right, Stuart, thank you so much. That's like super appreciated. And yeah, like you're like I really appreciate that encouraging like words. Thank you so much, Stuart. We'll bring in two more questions. There is C. Hoover, who has asked a question. I'm bringing him on. C. Hoover, if you can unmute yourself and ask us a question.
I think you can hear me.
Yes, we do.
Okay. This is Christian. So sorry, I just shortened the name. First of all, I want to thank you for all you did at this point. It's very great to have the classes and to get all the mates from you, especially from you, Kartik. So thank you for all that you did. I think the class is like a little treasure for us all. And so, I want to protect the class as good as it can be. So therefore, I have the question, do you provide or plan to provide some kind of protective cover or bag where I can store the glass safely? Or probably you can recommend a retailer who sells something like this. Thank you.
All right, Christian, thanks a lot. That's a very good, I would say, like a question. We are currently, trying to build a case of these glasses. It's sort of like a hard case where you can put the glasses into. I actually have a prototype of it in my hand right now. So it's sort of like a case. It's like a black case which has a zip on it. It's a bit like a carrying case that you might have for your spectacles. So we are currently in the process of having these to be made in sort of like large numbers, but that is again, because of everything that has been happening in the world, there has been a delay on these as well. But we are doing our best to actually get all of these manufactured and being shipped to us in about like a month's time. And then after that, as soon as we have it, everybody who has made a pre-order of these glasses will be getting these cases of shipped to them. So we will be shipping you a case in which you can safely put your Envision glasses as well. But that will take at least a month for us to have that figured out. So in the meanwhile, if you do want to put it in a case, what we recommend is just inquiring in a local electronics store, because we have seen that if you can find a case for devices that have a similar kind of so I would say like size, it does like work. So if you ask for a case for, I would say, like a shaver or like a trimmer, or if you ask for a case for spectacles, we have seen that they are the ones that are sort of like a right kind of a size that in which you can put your glasses. So if you do need one for now, I would ask you to inquire in a like a local optical store or in an electronics store. But in like a month's time, we will actually be shipping you a case of Envision where you can put in your glasses safely.
Okay, thank you again. And then I will wait for this case. It looks very good.
All right, Chris. John, thank you so much, and have a nice day. All right, we'll take a question from David Odell. David, if you could unmute yourself and ask us a question.
Zoom webinar alert amstay5@mail.com received one new message. Make someone smile this Christmas.
Hi.
Kevin Alderton. Zoom webinar.
Hi, David.
Hi. I've got one question on the find object. Is it possible to add objects to this list?
As of now, no. So as of now, it's a standard like list of objects that are in there. We will be offering updates, and in the updates, we'll actually be increasing the amount of objects that are in the list and that could be recognized. So we'll actually offer you a ways of selecting those. But if your question is if you can actually do like a training of your own objects, like if you want to do like a training of your own, I would say personal objects, as of now, that is not a possibility, but it is something that is currently under research and development. So there is a like a likelihood that it will be implemented in a future update. But as of now, it is like a limited set of objects that can be recognized.
Okay, that's fine. I was just thinking I might have missed something because I'm desperate to add keys to the list because I'm forever losing those.
Yeah. So there is going to be an update where we'll be actually adding a bunch of of commonly I would say found objects. That is something that will be increased in an update. But yeah, the ability to have your training of your own objects, that's going to take a while, but it should be coming soon.
Okay, thanks very much.
All right, David, thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for the questions. I will, we definitely, we do appreciate the feedback. The ones that we're all here today, we will all, gather them. We'll look into them with the team and make sure that all of them are being answered, and we can see when to implement those features. Once again, if you have features, feedback, anything, just send us an email. The more you ask about about features that you would like or things that you would like to see. I also see one from Stuart with the TTS voices when they'll all be available. They're all in the pipeline. So if you think it is important to you, please let us know via email and look into the great feedback. Whether it's good or bad feedback, it both helps us definitely. And I appreciate the words. I hope it was all clear to all of you people. Besides that, tomorrow there will be another webinar. It will be the same one, but if you have missed things, you can still join that one. I would like everyone's time. Really grateful here from the Envision team that you've taken the time to be here with the webinar to talk about the Envision glasses. We hope you do enjoy it. We hope you've learned something new today. And if there's anything else, please do email us, WhatsApp us, stay in contact with us. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a good day, all.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. And you can always like reach out to us with anything else that you have on your mind through email, and we'll be super happy to talk to you. And I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.